Hey everybody, this is episode 20 of Miami Masterclass. My name is Ian, and in today's episode we're going to run through the first year player draft and run out the month of June. As you can see, we are picking 15th overall in the first round, so we're going to get straight into it because I don't want to waste too much of your time. So if we go straight to our pick. So we had a quick look in the last episode at some of the players that were available, and there were some real good players available. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look. There was actually quite a lot of good pitchers in this draft, so that might be a good option. Now, first of all, let's see who our scout recommends. He recommends Raymond Gill, third baseman. Not too bad, is he? OSA ratings to head scout ratings are very different, though, so that's not that great. I like to see the two ratings very similar, and they're not, to be honest. So we'll go back to pitchers. We had a few good ones here. So we got like this guy, for instance, whose movement's a bit low, but his stuff's up there, his control. What's that? He's got a fastball, he's got a change-up, and he's got a curveball. I don't mind him, actually. His stamina's a little low, but he could be, at 18 years of age, he could be quite a good. But see, look at that. Look at the difference. Sorry to totally change the topic, but look at the difference there. So OSA ratings have got him very, very good, but he's extremely hard to sign. So he's probably going to want to go to college. So is there any real ability here? Got John Baker, who's got great control. Now Kyle Serrano, he's got 20 potential for stuff, 18 for control, and his curveballs are 20. He's got very low stamina. He wants 2.6 million. We've got the money now, don't forget, but I'm not really sold on him. So what we'll do is let's have a look at the players first, or the batters, I should say. Go by eye. Now Ben Ramirez, look at that, 16 control, 14 gap potential. Power's a little low, won't strike out much, and you've also got Jaron Kendall here, who's got very high work ethic. He might be a better option. If we look at them in terms of stealing over the two, Kendall's got slightly better speed and he's better stealer, and he's a centre fielder. Extremely difficult to sign for us, but he might be the guy that we want. So I'm going to recommend his slot bonus is 1.8. Does he want anything? He only wants the slot. So I'm going to offer him the slot, and we'll carry on. Now again, anyone else up here that's got... Now see, I like people with high contact, and there's no one really in that list. Tyler Cohen, the shortstop, he doesn't look too bad, does he? And he's actually obviously gone through high school as a pitcher at some point. Now the scout's recommending Bailey Ober. I don't mind him, he's not too bad, but his ratings are a little low. 21 years of age, he's in college, and his ratings aren't that great, are they? I want to see a lot better stats coming out of college. 3.38 in college isn't anything fantastic. But if we go back, I really do want to pick up a few pitchers if possible. I quite like him. Stuff's important, because obviously it means they can sort of go a bit deeper into games, because the pitchers are finding it... the batters, I should say, are finding it a bit harder to predict pitches and see the pitches. But there's not much point if their stamina's very low. And I mean, look, he's only throwing tops of 91 miles per hour, so he's not much of a gamble. Then you got him. What's that? Eli Lingos. He's not anything. What about Devin Ortiz down here? He's got potential across the board. I really like him. Normal work ethic, but I'm not totally against that. But let's go back to very high. Let's have a look if there's anyone with great control with very high work ethic. Matt Trask, is that his name? Matt Trask? Matt Trask, look at that. He's very good. He could be a real steal at this level. Now, Head Scout doesn't seem to think he's quite as good. Interesting. I'm not sold on that Bailey Ober, or whatever his name is. Parker Bean, very low work ethic. he's out. Even though he's got very good potential across the board there, I don't like very low work ethic, so I'm going to avoid him. We've got Jake Godfrey, got high work ethic, good numbers across the board there. Not bad stamina either. Is he signable? He'd be normal. So he's not a bad gamble. He's not a bad risk. Ground ball tendency. His velocity's a bit higher than some of the others. So Jake Godfrey, at the moment, let's put Jake Godfrey into there, because he's the one that I'm going to pick, unless we see a batter that's absolutely unbelievable. So you got another shortstop there. You got Cole Brannon, 17 control potential, and his eye potential is very high. Probably won't strike out that much, and he's got good speed, good stealing. He wants 2.6 million, but he's only 18. Now, again, our head scout doesn't think he's very good. So I don't think he's worth the gamble. Our head scout does seem to think he's... well, no, maybe no, he doesn't, actually. I was going to say, I thought our head scout actually thought he was a good defensive rating, so he actually doesn't think he's very good at that either. So maybe he's not worth the gamble. And he's going to be extremely hard to sign, so I don't think that's worth it, is it? Let's go back. What else have we got here? No one's really like jumping out at me. Keston Hiura, very high work ethic. Bit low across the board there. 20 years of age, left fielder. We don't really need another left fielder. We got that young Heredia that we picked up in the trade with Texas at the beginning of the season. So I don't really want another left fielder because we're going to be stacked in that position. We could get a third baseman. Jack Lebowski, he's again very high work ethic, good control, good contact potential, I should say, good power. He's not too bad, is he? He could be something quite interesting. He's obviously had a bit of a history pitching. So how did he go in high school? He went 366 in high school. Now again, our head scout thinks he's better than the OSA rating, so he could be a real steal, I should say. Words are my tool, and I'm struggling. I think I might go for this guy, actually, but then it's between Lebowski or Godfrey. Now, our head scout doesn't rate Godfrey. I'm basing him purely on the OSA ratings. So maybe I'll go... But then, again, we do need some good starting pitchers, don't we? Oh, that's tricky. See, third baseman. We've got 18 third basemen in the organisation, but we don't have many right fielders. So that's worth knowing. And we're struggling with first baseman as well. So we've got this guy up here, Blake Poor, I believe it is. 17 control, gap potential's good. I keep saying control. If I say control, I mean contact. So 17 contact, 16 gap power, gap, that. I'll get it out. Power's a little low, eyes a little low, probably won't strike out that much. I don't think so. I think I'm going to go Jake Lebowski. Because our head scout thinks he's very good. So I'm going to go Lebowski. Let's draft Lebowski. Recommended slot bonus 550. Does Lebowski want anything? He just wants the slot. That's why I'll offer him the slot. So St. Louis keeps picking up pitchers before us, so we should probably go a pitcher at some point. Now they're still recommending Bailey Ober, and I don't see why, because I don't think he's anything. I'm definitely going to have a look at the pitchers, but I'm going to avoid their suggestion, or the scout's suggestion, I should say. There's really not a lot, is there? Again, low stamina for Cameron Bishop. Yeah, he doesn't. There's not a lot, is there? What about, let's go movement. People with high movement and control. But that's why they're actually picking Bailey over. He is probably the best of the bad bunch, so maybe I will go him. He's very easy to sign. Okay, let's go Bailey. Let's see what he can provide. So now we've got him. Who do they think now? They think Garrett Starlings. OSA ratings have got him very high. Head Scout doesn't think he's quite as good. In college, he went 294 ERA. Whip was 121. Did strike out 10, so he's not doing too badly on that one. But surely there's better. Surely. But it doesn't look like there is. So let's go back to the batters. Let's go eye potential this time. Got to scroll all the way back up. Cash Case. Surely not. Cash Case. Check out that name. I mean, I'm almost tempted to sign him just for that name, but unfortunately he's impossible, and I'm not gonna jeopardize our finances just to sign someone with a funny name. But Cash Case, come on, that's ridiculous. Contact. I said contact this time, not control. Matt Oldham, he keeps popping up, doesn't he? Cordell Duns again. There's a lot of good catches in this draft. Let's have a look at power. Now, Blake's appearing with his good power. He's got good eye. That's a very tempting offer, that one. But he wants a lot of money. Let's go back to contact. Cordell Dunn. See, we're not doing too badly. We've got a lot of good catches coming up through the system, so I don't really want to risk it. See, Foscolina, he's got good eye and good contact, but he's got high work ethic, and I really like that. Not a particularly great bloke at stealing bases. Cameron Bear, I quite like Cameron Bear, but he's got no pace at all, has he? But he's got real potential. I actually like Foscolina. I'm going to go Foscolina. And I'll offer him the slot. And he comes from Long Beach, California. Not that that means anything. I don't even know why I said that, but just in case you guys were interested. Now they recommend the shortstop, Jason Gonzalez. Now he's not even on the top of the board here. Now Head Scout thinks he's very, very good, so he could be a real steal. But I don't want to pick him just yet because he's obviously not in anyone's radar, because look how poor his ratings are. Where if our Head Scout seems to think that he's got a bit of potential. So he's got home run power's up slightly now. Our Head Scout seems to think everyone's got great home run power, but I quite like. I think that's negligible. I think even if he's a couple of points out, contact, if he get his contact up and his discipline up, that's the big one. He's a gamble. So I'm going to go with Gonzalez. Extremely hard. I'll offer him the slot. Let's keep powering through. Bonnet, got high work ethic. Power's very high. Contact's very low, though. Let's sort by work ethic and see if there's anyone that really stands out. Jarlin Harrison doesn't look too bad. Brian Mundell, very high intelligence very high work ethic and very high intelligence, I should say. But there's no one now that really stands out. Right fielder, Ryan Lekic. Now, we're short a bit on right fielders. We've only got 12. So Ryan Lekic could come in and with a bit of game time could do very well. And again, look, he's got something as a pitcher as well, and he's quite quick. 18, hard to sign. He's in college. But he did bat .322 for the year. I really like that. But I really like that. Very high work ethic, very high intelligence, and he's only 18. I'm going to pick this guy up. Let's see if he signs. If being the operative word. So let's go back up to contact. Ryan Verlandy's got nothing. Now K's potential, there's quite a few here. Eye potential and power. Zachary Daniels, he's only 18. But if we look at... See, there's two there who have got higher work ethic than him. Both shortstops. I quite like Jose Ciccarello. Is that how you say his name? Again, he got good defensive ratings. Speed, stealing. Base running's a little on the low side. Has no home run power, but he could be a real gamble. He batted .408 in high school. I really like this guy. As you can see, he's got no power. He's only got one triple, that's a bit concerning, because even though he doesn't have a lot of home run power, he should still be outrunning some of the throws for an extra base or two. No home runs from 25 games. Can't be too concerned with that. But he's a real contact hit. He's on base .505, so I'm going to pick this guy up. And plus, with his high work ethic, he could be a sort of a hidden gem. Now, what does the scout recommend this time? Avedano. Now, I actually saw him before. I think he's not on this page. Oh, that's because he's a pitcher. That's why. Shows how intelligent I am. Was this the guy that we looked at? Impossible to sign though. He's only 21. He obviously wants to stay in college. I don't know. I don't know about him. Did he get drafted? Has he been drafted before? No, he hasn't been drafted before. So, he's impossible to sign though. I don't want to sign. I don't want to waste a pick this early on that's impossible to sign because it's just wasted, isn't it? Now, John Baker. Now he could be interesting because we need some relievers coming through the system, and he's got great control there. Fantastic control. His stamina is actually very high. His stuff and movement's a little low, but with high stamina, he could theoretically develop into someone quite good. His ERA is a fraction on the high side for college. But we do need some good relievers, and it doesn't look like there are many. Let's go all relievers. You got Chris Booth there, very low intelligence, so I won't even be looking at him. I'll tell you what, now John Baker, is he signable? He's hard to sign, but I quite like him. Now, what I wish it would do, now why has he disappeared all of a sudden? Oh, John Baker, he's down there. I'm going to pick up John Baker as a reliever. Let's carry on. We're into the 9th round. Matt Oldham, a catcher. Now, his name cropped up before, didn't it? So he's going to be a real contact hitter by the looks of it. Head Scout seems to think his discipline at the plate is a lot better than it is. But I'm a bit apprehensive. I'm a bit unsure about using such an early pick for a catcher because we've got a lot of good catchers coming through the system. Let's go back and have a look at eye potential. But Matt Oldham, he's up there. Look, he's got great control and great eye. Eye and power. You've got a second baseman. Now, we do need some second basemen. We've only got 11. So Addison Moss could be a real go. He doesn't have a lot of contact. But that's a risk. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go Matt Oldham. Actually, no. I'm going to go with my original. I'm going to pick up Addison Moss. And if Matt Oldham's still around in the next pick, which will be my final one before I sim, and he is. See, he's still around, so I'm going to pick up Matt Oldham, unless they recommend someone fantastic. Ryan Burnett, starting pitcher. OSA ratings. Head Scout seems to be underrating a lot of these guys. But I'm going to pick up Matt Oldham, because he doesn't look too bad. So I'll sim through the rest of the draft now, and then we'll get on to the rest of June. I don't think that was a bad draft, actually. I think it was quite good. So we've actually picked up some very hard guys to sign. Jason Gonzalez and Jaron Kendall. Now, we're actually in the middle of a series with San Francisco, and we lost the first one 5-1. And it looks like we just lost again as Atlanta's just caught up to us. And yeah, there you go. So Kane blanked us. That's disappointing. And then we lost the next game. So we got swept by San Francisco. And we picked up Bailey Ober, starting pitcher. So I'm interested to see how we go there. In terms of chemistry, no major disruptions, but nothing super amazing either. So we're just sort of treading water in that regard. Let's carry on. I really don't want to slip too far back. If we can sort of play 500 ball for the next few months, I'll be very happy with that. So Kendall's not happy, but he is very good. So where's Kendall? 2.4 million. Now we offered him 1.8 last time. Do we offer him the 2.4 as a centre fielder? He's very good. We did pick him in the first round. Yeah, I'll do so. Let's do so. Let's offer him what he wants. Meet demand. Surely he's happy with that, isn't he? As it looks like we've lost another game. But we're playing Pittsburgh now. And we've got Jason Gonzalez, which is good. And we've just lost again. We just lost to Pittsburgh. So we're obviously... The month of May was very good to us. The month of June, perhaps not so much, as we finally picked up a win today. So yeah, we lost Eddie. God, not too surprised. Ben Jordan, Kemp, no, we didn't get him, and we've got some more still to decide. I really want to play sort of 500 ball for the next couple of months, but it doesn't, and we've just lost another player. What is going on with our injuries? Tozawa, he's gone for 3 months. Oh my goodness. Might as well put you on the 60 days. Now, we picked up Foscolina, so that's good, but another injury. We are just getting battered, aren't we? Is there anyone... I'll tell you what, let's have a look at the Zephyrs. And let's have a look at their pitching. Now what we want, stats for AAA. Now is there anyone that really deserves to come up? James Nygren, he's done very well in his 19 starts. What about his stats? His ratings, rather. Not too bad, are they? Carter Capps, he was my sort of go-to. I would have sort of said, yep, this is the guy we're going to bring in. But he's been absolutely battered all over the park down in AAA. 9.26 ERA. He's got a whip of 240, so he's certainly not coming up. Is there anyone up here, perhaps, in the rotation who's got a bit low stamina that deserves a shot? Doesn't really look like it, does it? Lay Batista? No. It looks like James Nygren is our go-to guy. Now, I actually like Nick Whitgren. He hasn't done too bad. His ERA is fractionally high. But I think James Nygren deserves a chance, doesn't he? Really. He's done very well. Never actually played up in the big team. So yeah, let's bring him up. Where are we? Place him on the active roster. Now, what I haven't done is I haven't looked at the waiver wire for a while because there's actually been none that's been happening. I should really be looking at it because there's usually good relievers that are available. But it looks like we're keeping up with Atlanta. I mean, there we go. We've just drawn level with them. If we could win the division over Atlanta, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Now, Ryan Orr, when did we pick him up? We picked him up last year in the second round, and he just bashed out 5 hits down in the rookie league. He did very well last year. He went 309, and this year he's going 320, admittedly only in 7 games, so he's looking good. Now, Lebowski wants more. Now, where did we pick Lebowski? We picked him up in the second round. He wants 600. I will offer him that. We've got the money. Let's just do it. I should have hit meet demand, really, shouldn't I? Let's go back to the waiver wire. See, there's no one. There hasn't. Every time I've looked at the waiver wire, even offline, there's just not been anyone. I mean, the other thing is we are losing quite a few games because we don't want the Mets to catch up to us. And we've just lost another reliever for 7 months. What is going on with our team this year? That's another one. Another player that we've lost for 7 months. Unbelievable. You just couldn't do this if you tried, could you? If I sort of said to you at the beginning of the season, we're going to lose 6 players, to long-term injuries, you'd go, don't be stupid, Ian. And now we've got no one. Oh, man. And we've got no one down here that's really ready. Tyler Higgins could possibly come up. But he hasn't had a massive performance, has he? Oh, that doesn't really make sense. He hasn't had a great performance, I should say. But he's the best of a bad bunch, so I'll bring him up. Oops, let's put him in the active roster, because we just have no one. And now we're playing a 3-game series against the Mets, so I really want to try and win a couple of these games. We're 33 and 27. Helps if we actually go through. So we actually got Jaron Kendall in the end. Picked him in the first round. Not expected to sign him, or David Hamilton for that matter, so neither of them have signed whatever. And we actually beat the Mets in 15 innings. Oh, I mean, this is what you don't want. When you've got no relievers because they're all injured, you don't want to have to rely on your bullpen in games. So we could be struggling in the future. But we're not doing too badly. As I say, we're about 4 games ahead by the looks of it. Again, no one else to look at. Still not satisfied. We didn't get Ryan Cash. Whatever. He wasn't going to be anything special, was he? Now, we didn't get Lebowski. That's frustrating. He didn't sign. But if we can keep just picking up a few wins here and there, I mean, see, the Phillies have caught up to us slightly now, and I don't like that. I actually preferred it when there was about a 4 or 5 game gap between us, because we've only got to have a bit of a slump, or got to lose a series to the Phillies, and then we're right back down again. But how tough is our division? 7 games. Ridiculous. Why couldn't we be in this one, the Central? Because we'd be smashing the Reds, and we wouldn't have to worry. But there we go. It's starting to pull away a little bit now. So it looks like we might run out the month of June, at least in second place, which is a bit frustrating, especially after the performance in May. And we've got a trade proposal to look at. So let's go through the big ones here. Proposal from the Padres. So they're going to offer us a centre fielder, El Monte, who isn't too bad, is he? But what do they want in return? They want Aguirre and Ryan Orr. Now, Aguirre hasn't played that many games, and he hasn't done that well. Let's have a look at... they're definitely not getting Ryan Orr, but let's have a look at how... where is he? Justin Bohr, how he's doing. He's batting 280 in his few starts, so he's going to stay, and I'm going to agree to that deal, possibly. They're not going to get Ryan Orr, because he's done very well for us down in the rookies. But they want more, of course they do. So what about, he's only 19, Jose Lizarraga. He's putting up so-so numbers, hasn't he? He did very well in 2016 in the rookie leagues, and then in short season, a bit early days, but there's nothing great about him. So, yeah, I'll complete that one. So that has shored up our outfield slightly. Now, I know some of you might be saying, well, what about that? I believe it was Cultus. Let's have a quick look at Cultus. Soltis. I was close. Casey Soltis. He's declined quite a lot. He's 228. We will go over the team at the end of the month. But with our Monte here, it does mean that Soltis can go back down. He did very well, but let's demote him back down. Let's put El Monte in, who is only a fraction better than Soltis, but he shores up our team a lot more. And that should see us out. We just beat Atlanta 4-1, which is good. If we can beat them again and close that gap even more to run out the month. Oh, we've just lost Alvarez for 2 weeks. That's another blow. Do we even have any rotation at all? Or do we have any players? No one on the waiver wire. Do we have anyone? It's so frustrating. He's worth 2 weeks. Is he worth putting on the disabled list? I think he might be, isn't he, for 2 weeks. Have we got anyone down here that's worthy of a call-up? It's to go into pitching ratings. See, there's no one there that's really very good, is there? I quite like Kendry Flores. He's got good control, and his velocity is right up there. But his movement is a bit meh. But at 25, he could come up. I'll tell you what, let's bring him up. Let's give him a chance. First of all, what we have to do is put Alvarez on the disabled list. 15 days, and we'll bring up Flores into the main roster. So we have a quick look at our disabled list. Look at these times. Alvarez is only out for 2 weeks. Ben Revere's out for the season. Tazawa's out for 3 more months. Parnell, we should be getting him back in a few weeks, but I expect him to drop right off, although his velocity's still very good. Hopefully that doesn't change too much. Eric O'Flaherty, he's done for the season as well. Nori Aoki's still a month and a bit away. But he might find coming back into the team quite difficult with... now we've got our Monte from the Padres. So we'll run out the month with 3 games ahead of the Phillies, 3 games back of Atlanta. And that brings us to a close in the month. So let's have a quick look at the standings then before we have a look at the team. So that doesn't change. We're still 3 games ahead of the Phillies, 3 games back from Atlanta. We've just lost 2, but so have Philly, and Atlanta dropped 1 as well. In terms of the wild card, we've got the second wild card spot just over the Padres. Jose Fernandez one of the leaders in pitcher war, but we don't have anyone else appearing. So let's go into the team. Let's go pitching stats, and we want to look at the month of June, don't we? Who did really well? Our whole rotation did quite well there. Jose Fernandez had possibly his best month. He's in a bit of a hot streak, 191. Adam Connolly slumped ever so slightly, but look, his Ks to walks is absolutely amazing. Madison Bumgarner doing what he usually does, doing very well. Ivan Nova and Jake Thompson are in the rotation now, both of them after the loss of Alvarez, which is a real blow. Kendrick Flores has come up. He hasn't played yet. Grant Dayton, he's done very well, actually. He's gone 12 innings and he hasn't given up a run yet. Boone Logan, 675. He's been a real disappointment, hasn't he? James Nygren, he came up, remember, from the injury, and 16.88 ERA. Oh, that's terrible. Perhaps he shouldn't have come up just yet, but we really have no one else. Joe Ortiz, he's doing quite well. Matt Ramsey's in a cold streak. He's really struggling with 9. And Tanner Sheppers is now our closer, and he's doing all right. He's holding his own at 3.38. So he started off a bit slow, didn't he, at the beginning of the year, but he's improving on leaps and bounds. His ERA should drop into the 3 surely by the end of the year, especially in that closer role. As we have a look at the batters then, so Tim Federowicz, he's did very, very well for the month, as Raul Muto started to slump into a bit of a cold streak. Justin Bohr, he batted 200, but he didn't get a lot of game time. I'm not too disappointed with him, actually. Although his numbers aren't great, he's a good backup for CJ Cron, who's in another hot streak, doing very, very well. He's smacked 4 home runs for the month, I should say. 309, very happy. Joe Panic, he's always just under the 300 mark for average. On base, 356. I quite like that too. Valderspin, he's calmed down a little bit. 220. He's made 9 starts. Iglesias is in a real cold streak. He's nothing more than a backup player anyway. Martin Prado still seems to be doing a job at 33 years of age. He batted 268 for the month of June. Kettle Marte has cooled off completely. He's in a cold streak or two. And Carl Schwarber, 258. I quite like him. He's doing very well. Almonte, he came in, I don't know how many games he's actually played for us. There you go. He only played 1 game for us, 1 start, made 2 appearances, and he hasn't actually got a hit yet. But when he was with San Diego for the month, he didn't do too badly, 216, which I think's ever so slightly better than Soltis. And Mazzara, he's cooled a lot, but 255, I'm not too disappointed about that. An ops of, 847. Home runs of 6, so he actually led the team with Schwarber in home runs there. So I'm very pleased. So as we have a quick look, so for the month of June, we went 12 and 16, which is a little step back from May, which was obviously outstanding. But we did have some tough losses there. I mean, we got swept by San Francisco. We always seem to struggle against the Yankees. Should have done perhaps slightly better against Colorado, but I'm not too concerned. Should have perhaps tried to take another game away from Atlanta in the process. But of course, we're in the middle of a series against Pittsburgh. We've got the other wildcard spot from memory. Yeah, so this is a very tough game, tough series for us. So that brings a close to the month of June. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. And we'll see you again tomorrow for the month of July. Thanks for watching.